Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani, and for today's video we are going to learn how to do some soft brows. I've been doing some hardcore brows for the longest time, and I thought I couldn't do soft brows because I had no eyebrows, but I was very much wrong. Let me show you my tips and tricks on how to get a fluffy brow. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean off any residue that's on my face just to prep for my base routine and to also do my brows as well. I feel like we're Gucci with that. For the brows, you're going to need you're going to use Got To Be glued, okay? You're also going to need a spoolie. You're going to need a brow pencil. I got this brow pencil off Amazon. So I think it was 12 for $8. And then you're going to need your concealer and a sponge. So I just take a little bit like this. Can you see? Like that's how much I need. That little bit. I literally like kind of cut it in half, and then I put one on one brow, and I put one on another brow. Okay, and if I need more, I'll go in for more. So for my brows, you're basically just taking the spoolie, and you have to get one that kind of bends a little so you can push in the direction you want it to go in. So I will put the Got To Be all over my brows, and then I will just literally push them up. Push my brow layers up. Sometimes this dumb thing likes to move a little bit. And then I'll just keep doing that until like it's the way I want it to, and then I'll take my finger and just kind of, I don't want to press hard, but I don't know what this is called. Do this. So see how that one's kind of up and this one's not? So that's how I kind of want it. Okay, I just need a little bit on the end. Okay. Now you don't want to press too hard because then it starts making like these really nasty balls. Like see this one here? They start to make these really nasty balls, and then you have to get your wipe and wipe them off, but regardless I still use a wipe. Same concept, we're just pushing the brow hair up. Okay. You can always pull the skin too to help. And then take your finger and kind of just make the hairs go in place. And you want to make sure it's not tacky, like it has to be like all the way dry. And normally I'll wash my hands after this, but I'll just use a wipe to wipe it off. And you're just gonna wipe off like the excess residue of the Got To Be from around your brows, because it'll look weird when you're setting it with the concealer. Okay, so once you're done, your brows should look like this. You want to make sure you have a sharp pencil. You don't want to use it like a dull pencil because you won't be able to get like the fine hairs. So I just fill in like the empty spots, or fill in enough where I can make a shape with my brow. So let me do that. So like here, I have a little gap here. So I'll fill in the gap. And because this pencil's brown and my hairs are black, I kind of like it because it kind of gives like a bleached look. So don't go too hard, just a little bit. And then I want my hairs to come like right here. So I'll like make little hairs. Okay. And then I'll do the same on the other side. I have like a little gap here, so I want to fill out that gap. Okay, and then there's one here. And you have to go very lightly when you're doing this. Like barely touching the skin when you do this. Okay. Once I've filled my brows in, I like to make like a little line. I call it a guiding line underneath the brows. So when I do my concealer underneath, I just go directly where that line is. I'll start like right here, and I'll gently, like very, very gently, bring the line all the way to the tail of my brow, and I'll stop right here. And I'll do the same thing on the other side, and I don't go on top yet because I want to make sure that they're both even, and I'm legally blind at this point. Okay, bring it out a little bit, cover that. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go on top and actually just fill this here. Okay, so we're gonna go on top. Okay, and I go a little bit above my brows because when I conceal, I usually come all the way in, and I don't want there to be any gaps, so I'll just do that. And I have a little cut here, so I have to be careful. I want it to look a little bit like that. Okay, I know it looks crazy, but we're gonna fix it anyways with the concealer, so it's fine. I'm gonna do the same for the other side. Okay, so that's what I want it to look like. I know it looks like those albino brows when people do them, or the blonde brows, but when I do my makeup, it'll come together nicely and it'll be very soft. Now I'm gonna do my base routine, and then I'm gonna do my concealer to conceal everything. So for my base routine, I basically just use my skincare routine. So I'm gonna do my nighttime skincare routine, and yes, I do use sunscreen in the nighttime. Bite me. I always use sunscreen when I do my makeup, so. And I make sure I don't get my brows at all. I want them to stay matte as possible. And sunscreen. Fun fact, I do not use primer because I don't feel like I need it. My skincare routine is my primer, so. All right, now for the, I want to say the best part of doing my eyebrows is concealing them. And I basically start from here, and then I follow the line that I created. So, here. So as I'm following the line that I created, I make sure that I go close enough to the hairs of my brows as well, because I don't want it to be too far apart. I don't want there to be like a gap between my lid and like the actual brow hairs. I'll try to go as close as I can. Okay. And I want to make sure I'm following my natural brow line. And this is in real time, so I take my time when I do this. And I make sure that it looks okay, and it looks okay to me. So I like to just make sure I go around my entire lid with the concealer, because I typically use this as my base for any, what's it called? Eyeshadow. So I just cover the whole entire lid with the concealer. Same thing for the next side. We're following the line that we created, the bottom. And I go a little bit past the tail of the brow because I know I have to blend this out anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But I go past it because I want to make sure that I'm not like curving it too much. I'm going like straight out towards my temples. And I just make sure that they look roughly even, but I know that I gotta go back up in here, so let me do that. Okay, so now I'm checking. Here's okay, that looks good on the bottom. Same thing, cover the lids. What I like to do for the top part of the brows is I like to put some of the concealer on my forehead as like a palette, so I can just go back and forth to it instead of continuously dipping inside of the concealer bottle. Start up here. See how I'm not like all the way near the brow yet? I like to give myself a shell before I go directly near the brow to kind of guide it and blend it properly. So I'll start right here in the center of, like, in between my eyebrows, and then I'll pull it to meet the eyebrow. Okay, and see that little gap between the hair and the line? I kind of want to go near there. I'm following the natural shape of my eyebrow. Now I'm gonna go back again one more time around to make sure that everything is straightened out properly, because right now to me it's not. Go back. There we go. So that looks perfect to me. So now I'm gonna work on the next brow. And I'll just take some of the concealer for my forehead because I still have enough. And go around. Make sure I'm at least meeting where my brows are. Follow my natural brow shapes. Okay, and I check to see how we're doing. So I need to come down a little bit. They're looking okay to me. Just you want to be careful because you don't want to ruin them. That's where we're at right now. So to me, that looks perfect. Now, what I do is I take some more concealer and I put it in the center, and then I put some on my forehead. And then if I didn't have any on my lids or enough on my lids, I would do that too. I put some down here just to use it as a palette. The reason why I do my base routine the way I do is because when it's time to blend, the product kind of moves like butter. Now I have my triangle sponge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blend everything all together, and then when I get into the center, I'm going to do that a little different. So let me blend out my eyes and like the rough edges. Okay, so I left the center with a lot of product in the middle. And what I'll do is I get the triangle sponge and I will go directly in the center of the brow and just keep going back and forth in the same position, and just to blend it out a little bit. And then I will lightly go above the front end of the brow because I don't want it to be harsh. Kind of want it to look like an ombre effect. And then I'll go on top as well. okay? So I want it to look like that. And I'll do that on the other side as well. And we're doing this gently. And go back in the middle. And I'll see if that's how I want it. That might be how I want it. I do see a little empty spot here. And that is it. That is how I do my brows. Very easy. So I'm going to finish the rest of the makeup look and come right back. And this is the final look with everything all done. I find that my brow routine is very easy now. I don't have to go above and beyond with, you know, drawing anything on. Is just literally filling everything in, which I really like. I hope you guys did like this tutorial. I try to make it as simple as possible. Let's do a product recap. We are going to need some got to be glued. Just get the giant bottle. This is going to literally last you forever. You just literally need a pea size for both brows together. Your favorite concealer to conceal your brows. You're also going to need your brow pencil. I prefer a pencil versus like a pomade or a liner brush. I feel like you have more precision with doing it with a pencil, and it looks more real and fluffy with a pencil. You're also going to need a sponge to blend out the concealer. I prefer using a triangle sponge because of the precision with the lines versus using a beauty blender where there's not that much, you know, surface area to cover with a beauty blender. You're also going to need a spoolie, preferably one that kind of bends like this so you can push up your brows versus a straight one where you're just going like this. I find this tool a lot easier to use. I got this off of Amazon, so everything is going to be linked in the description box below. So yeah, that's everything you're going to need to do your brows. I find that this way is a lot easier for me. I hope it's a lot easier for you guys as well. I tried to make this tutorial as easy as possible without using anything expensive. You literally can get everything either at Shoppers or CVS. All of these things together I think are less than like $15. So brows for $15, why the heck not? As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with somebody who is looking for a new brow routine. I know fluffy brows are really in right now, and I have no brows. So if I can have this result, I'm pretty sure somebody can come up with this as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video.